the first location or the last locations. Now, parameter passing call by reference. Write down. Earlier we discussed parameter passing call by value. Let's discuss call by reference or address parameter passing. If you remember a little bit, when we define a function, let's say name of the function is ABC. This is the definition of the function. Sometimes we call it by assigning a variable, let's say A. At the time of defining a function, the parameters are basically called as formal parameters. When I call the function, the parameter is called as actual parameters, or sometimes formal arguments or actual arguments. I told it previously also, formal parameter is nothing but a declaration statement. Formal parameter is nothing but a declaration statement. Actual parameter appears in the right hand side of an assignment statements. The relation between formal and actual is nothing but every actual parameter, formal parameter assigns to actual parameters. So when the function is called, the actual parameter gets evaluated and is assigned to the formal parameters. And is assigned to the formal parameters. That happens. In case of a call by reference parameter passing, the declaration statement, the formal parameter should be a pointer or address variable. Write down. The formal parameter should be a pointer or address variable. The formal parameter is a pointer or address variable. Okay, the formal parameter is a pointer or address variable. If the formal parameter Sanindya is a address variable, the right hand side should be an address value or something else.
But something else.
No. When we write assignment statement, in the assignment statement, the left hand side is demanding for something, right hand side will supply something.
Yes, sir.
If left hand side is asking for coffee, right hand side should supply a tea or coffee.
Coffee.
If you are holding a glass which can hold, let's say, milk, and the right hand side you should supply milk or water.
Milk.
So that way, formal parameter is basically an address variable. Then the actual parameter should be an integer or should be an address value.
Address value.
Again, my next question. If the formal parameter is addressed to integer, the right hand side actual parameter should be addressed to integers. If the formal parameter is addressed to float, the right hand side actual parameter should be addressed to
float.
And if the formal parameter is addressed to 5 integer, the actual parameter should be addressed to
5.
Is it understood or not? Formal
Yes,
and actual parameters should match with each other. So one thing I told, why do I go for a call by reference parameter passing? Let me explain that. Suppose we have an array contains marks of 100 students, contains mark of 100 students. Let me say it is M mark of M0. This is mark of M99. How many student marks are there? 100. And because of some less mark secured by the students, the professor agreed to give 10 mark grace to every student. Professor agreed to give 10 mark grace to every student. So in all 100 locations, you will be adding 10 marks or not? Whomsoever secure mark is 50, after adding it will become 60. Whomsoever mark is 65, it will become 75. Do you agree with this? Now,
yes, sir.
If I ask you to write a function, you will write a function for this, and which will give a grace mark of 10. Then how many marks you want to modify? Hundreds? So you have to declare 100 number of formal parameters. So each parameter will be getting one value m0, another will get m1, m2. Then I can do the updation. But the question remains: if the number of students is unlike other universities like KIT, where 3,000 students are there, 3,000 marks are stored, then can you define 3,000 number of formal parameters?
No,
If you define 3,000 number of formal parameters, possible the name of the function itself will take 10-20 screen or not? सर उसको टाइप करते करते 3 घंटा बीत जाएगा, हम लोग घर चला जाएंगे. So in the class, what you write? Only name of the functions. Yes or no? And that necessitated to pass a parameter. We will not pass all 3,000 values. We'll pass only one value, from where you can access 3,000 number of values. So we will pass the starting address of the whole array. We'll pass the starting address of the array to the function. I'll pass the starting address. If you know one address, can you access the consecutive data by adding +1, +2, +3?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Any
Yes, sir,
memory
yes,
location
sir.
address you know. If we have data available consecutive to each others, can I access it by simply adding +1, +2 or not?
yes, sir.
Last day we
sir.
saw. So we'll pass the starting address, from where I can access 100 consecutive data, 1,000 consecutive data, 5,000 consecutive data. Agreed or not? In that case,
Yes, sir.
do I need to pass individually 3,000 data or one address?
Address.
Only
One
one
address.
address, from where I can access consecutively. So that is the necessity of going for a call by reference parameter passing, where rather than passing a group of data, and the group is a very big, I can only pass one, that is a data or address.
Address.
I will pass the
Address.
address, from where I can access consecutive
Consecutive
data,
data.
group of 100 or 1,000 or maybe anything over years. And that's the necessity of going for a call by reference parameter passing. It has other advantages. The necessity is this. It has other advantage, like any change occurs to the formal parameter will also be reflected back in the actual parameters. Changes occurs to formal will occur to the actual parameter, which doesn't happen in case of call by value. But we have alternative in a programming language. In other programming language, we have a parameter passing like call by value result, which I can achieve without going for this. But the main advantage, do remember it, whenever we want to pass a bunch of data to a function, and if those bunch of data are available consecutive location and a contiguous location, we will pass only one address, either the first or the last. Any address I pass, I can go in the backward direction or I can come in the forward direction or upward, downward, whatever you like. That's the necessity. So with this, as I told, my formal parameter should be which data type? Formal parameter should it be address constants or address variable? अरे formal parameter बाएं तरफ आएगा, left hand side.
Variable,
Left hand side, can I have a constant?
Variable.
Variable, sir.
Very good. Actual parameter can be a address constant, can be a address variable, can be an address expressions. It can be address constant, can also be address variable, can also be address expressions. Understood it? That
Yes.
at the time of invoking a function, the actual parameter will be assigned to the formal parameter, then execution continues. With this, let me proceed to discuss. Look at this. I'm defining a function. Name of the function is fun. Return data type. The function may return integer, float, or something. I declare two formal parameters. These two formal parameters are simple integer data type or address to integer.
Address to
Very
integer.
good. And
Yes.
let me say, P and Q are integer variable. P and Q are simple integer variable. So when I call it, can I pass the parameters P and Q or ampersand P ampersand Q?
Ampersand P, ampersand
Why
Q.
ampersand P? Can anyone say?
Sir, we have to give the address. to the
Yes,
variable.
address. P is not the address. We have to pass the address. So I'll
Yes,
write
sir.
an ampersand here. Very good. Now let's come to the first program. So whenever we write down this, at the time of calling the function or invoking the function, A will be assigned to ampersand P and B will be assigned to ampersand Q over here. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Or yes or no? Today you note down the students. Next day, okay, call the students. I will show their marks. They got 0 in the evaluations. Okay. They don't give importance. They think they will modify. I'll show their marks so that how it will be reduced to D grade. In couple of days, their maximum mark will become 50. How the marks got reduced. Started with 100. Day by day, if you do not attend the class, maximum mark will become 90. Then maximum mark will become 80, and someday it will become 50 maximum. And I will not reduce further that, because we want to get rid of those students. To get rid of those students, we'll give 50 if you do not come to my class. Understood it or not? I don't want to reduce further. I want to get rid of those students. Okay. So those who are not coming, I'll show how the marks are reduced day by day. So now let's come to the first problem, which many of the our technical assistants must have discussed. The first is exchange the data between two variables. If one variable is holding a value, write down there are two variables. Let's say A and B. If A has 5, B has 7, after exchange, A will be holding 7, B will be holding 5. We want to exchange the value between two variables. Or we tell it is swapping between two variables. Let's write down the function like this. Look at the function. Not return any value. I wrote void. Name of the function I've given swap by reference. I have two variables x and y. I declare the temporary variable t. I remember one thing. For every formal parameter can be treated as the local variables. Formal parameters are the local variable to the functions. Formal parameters are created at the time of calling the function, and they are destroyed after exiting from the functions. Understood or not? Formal parameters are created at the time of calling the function. And when the function terminates, those parameters are also destroyed. Those values are also destroyed. Understood it?
Yes, sir.
Sanindya, yes. Now look at this. Let me show it with respect to an example. It will be better understood. Look at this. I have two formal parameters x and y. What x holds? X holds address to integer. Y holds address to integer. But t is holding only an integer. Is the memory representation understood for this function where I have used three variables? Yes or no?
Yes.
Arghya, understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nirmalya?
Yes, sir.
Anshuman? Yes. Now.
Yes, sir.
Understood
Yes,
this? Suppose we want to run this. Let's see what will happen. Suppose x is pointing to a data which is 10. X is pointing to a data which is holding 10, and y is pointing to a data which is holding 20. And t is not holding any value. It will hold in future an integer value. Understood up to this? Very nice.
Yes.
Look at this. This is the situation. Let's execute this. First statement will execute. T assigns to star x. When t assigns to star x, what would be the value of t? Can anyone suggest me?
X star.
नहीं हाँ x star क्या होगा? t का वैल्यू क्या होगा इधर?
सर एड्रेस आएगा
नहीं t see
Value at
x is
variable.
what x. Star x is 10 or something
10,
else?
10 in 10 in it.
10. So t will be assigned to now. What is the value? Abhishek, Sanindya,
10. 10.
is it understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Correct cross statement. Next, star x equal to star y. Star x equal to star y. What will the value of this?
20.
20.
20.
Very good. Very good. Final statement. Star y equal to t. What would be the
10.
value of
10.
this?
10.
10
10, sir.
Very good. Very good. Now, if I go to print this star x and star y, will it print 10, 20 or 20, 10?
Star X is equals to
20,
star Y.
2010.
20 and
20,
10.
10. Have
20,
they
10.
been exchanged?
yes
Or yes
Yes,
or no?
sir.
Yes, yes,
The
Yes,
value
sir.
of x and y have been exchanged
sir.
or not?
yes
Yes, sir.
Very good. If you have understood this, this is the function definition. We will call this function. Let's say we'll call this function like this. Execution will start from the function or will start from the main?
Execute will
Very
start from
good,
the
man.
main.
Very good, very good, man.
Main.
Now let's start it. How many variables do we have in the main?
2
Very good. Two, man. Say two. What are those names?
A and B
A and
Very
B.
good. So
A
after
and B.
this declaration, we'll call the swap function. When we call the swap function, A is a variable, B is a variable. For A, there is a memory location. address of memory location A is ampersand A, B is
Yes, sir.
ampersand.
B.
They are holding the value 10, 20. Is it understood? Tell me yes or no. The red color statement
Yes.
is
Yes,
glass
sir.
memory representation. Understood, everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. After that, we'll call the function. When we
Sir?
call, yes, yes, yes.
सर मैं बोल रही थी कि टी इक्वल टू स्टार एक्स है ना, तो फिर
आएंगे
इधर
आएंगे भारती भारती अभी टी का पास गए नहीं, वो हो गया अभी दूसरा समझना शुरू कर, थोड़ा लेट ज्वाइन किए तुमने. नाउ ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हियर. भारती प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. लुक एट दिस. विल कॉल द स्वैप. इफ आई कॉल स्वैप, योर एक्स विल बी असाइन्ड टू
एड्रेस
ए और
ऑफ
ampersand A.
एड्रेस ऑफ
Ampersand.
Y will be assigned to.
Ampersand B.
Ampersand B.
Do you understand this? What I'm drawing here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everyone understood this? Are yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
After
Yes, sir.
this, now Bharti try to understand. T assigns to star x. T assigns to star x. What would be the value of T? Sorry?
So the value at
Tell me what is the value of A?
10.
10. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Sir.
Then star x equals star y. What would be the value of this? Tell me. Star x. क्या होगा ये value?
20.
20.
20.
20. Is it correct what I am writing?
सर
Yes,
इधर
yes.
20 कैसे, वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा.
हाँ वही मैं पूछता हूँ. Now आगे बढ़ता हूँ. आगे चलते हैं. Star x equals star y. What is star y? Bharti, what is star y?
20.
20. And now if star y is 20, will be assigned to
Star.
Bharti, star x. Then if 20 will be assigned to this or place. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ah, yes. Good. यहाँ तक समझ में आया? Then I'm
Yes,
writing
sir.
star y assigns to t. If I write star y assigns to t, what is the current value of t?
20.
10.
That, yes, 10 will be
10.
assigned to this position. Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
आया समझ में? Now, if I
Yes.
want to print star x, star y, it will print 20, 10. And when I come out of the function, if I display the value of A and B, will it display 10, 20 or 20, 10? Now, look at this. A has become,
20.
B has become,
10.
10.
have they been swapped?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Understood this problem?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Are yes or no?
Yes, sir.
sir.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good. Next problem. Read the next problem. Find sum of n elements of two arrays. We have two arrays. How many arrays we have?
2.
One dimensional array. We'll find out sum of first few elements. I may add sum of first 20 elements of both the array. If sum of both the arrays, first 20 elements are equal, then the function will return
0.
0. If the first array sum is larger, the function will return
1.
1. If the first array sum is less, it will return
2.
2. Understood it? The question, not the solution. Question is
Yes,
understood
sir.
or not?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell again. How many array do I have, Sanindra?
2.
2
Very
array.
good, Bharti. 2 array.
2.
I will find out sum of first few elements. Maybe starting from 0, I'll go up to index 9 for both, or starting from 0, I may go to 20, or starting from 0, I may go to 15 like this.
Yes, sir.
First few elements will be added for both the arrays. If sums are equal, the function will return.
0.
If first array sum is greater, it will return.
1.
1.
Else it will return.
2.
Is the question understood?
Yes, sir.
If yes, let me define the function. Look at this. What the function returns? Anyone? Rosni? Son, what the function returns?
Integer.
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 Is it understood, everyone?
Yes,
And
sir.
this integer is nothing but 0, 1 or 2. Remember
Yes, sir.
this. This function will return 0, 1 or
2.
2.
very good. How many parameters the function takes?
So 2.
3.
3.
3 functions.
3.
First two parameters are called by value or called by reference.
Call by
Reference.
value.
And the third parameter is called by reference or called by value.
Call by
Call
value.
by value.
Is it understood? Everyone tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the glass A require an address of an integer.
Yes, sir.
Glass B, a variable B is a glass which can hold,
Yes.
is basically addressed to another integer. But N, will it hold integer or address to integer?
Integer.
Integer.
Very good. Very good. Let me say that A is pointing to an integer, B is also pointing to an integer. Okay, look at this picture. Suppose A is pointing to this, B is pointing to this, and to whomsoever they are pointing to, from there a lot of consecutive elements are there. A is pointing to a location from where a set of contiguous data are available. Understood? Very good. S1 is the sum assigned to intermediate sum 0, sum of the first few elements of the first array. S2 is the sum of the first few elements of the.
Second array.
Have you understood these three variables? Very good. Can anyone suggest what I'm doing here? I equal to 0, I less than n. A is pointing to this. If A is pointing to this, what is star of A? Star of A is the first element. Do you all
Yes,
agree
sir.
to me? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh. And can you say A plus 1 star will be which element? This element. All are agree to me?
Yes,
or
sir.
no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can I write down the same thing also? A of 0 and A of 1. Yesterday I was discussing
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
without writing stars. Very good.
Hmm.
If you have understood this, can anyone say here what will be the value of S1? No, finally after execution, sum of
Addition of all the
first n element,
Of first array.
first n element of the first array,
Yes,
and
sir.
S2 is
Sum of first element of second array.
very good. अच्छा इसका बाद क्या लिखेंगे बोलो सानिध्या?
सर कंपेयर करेंगे
वेरी गुड, कंपेयर करेंगे. जैसे बोले ऐसे ही आएगा तुम्हारा. If S1 equal S2, what it should return?
0.
0.
मैंने ठीक लिखा?
हाँ सर.
हाँ. Else if S1 greater than S2, what we should return?
1.
1.
Else return 2. Is it understood? Everyone tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
These I have written the whole program, or I only wrote the function.
Sir, function.
Function.
Function has no use if it is not called. Function has no use if it is not called. Okay. Let's call the function from the main.
Yes, sir.
Look at this. I define my main. अच्छा एक चीज मैं लिखा hash include studio.h. Can you write down this or not?
Yes.
वो मैंने नहीं लिख रहा हूँ सर, आप तो नहीं लिखे थे सर, काम नहीं कर रहे प्रोग्राम, ऐसे नहीं. अच्छा. I declare how many array?
2.
2. What are those names?
X and Y.
Sizes may be different. And I define another variable g, integer type. Can you assign value to these two array?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Either statically or dynamically using scanf statement.
Yes, sir.
Can you do this? Yes or no? Don't write enter data to both array x and v. काम नहीं करेगा, है कि नहीं है? ये मैंने कमेंट दिया, किसके लिए दिया? कंप्यूटर के लिए कि तुम्हारे लिए? हाँ, तुम्हारे लिए. Value assign कर दे to x and y. Let's go to the next one. Look at this. How do I call it? Tell me, if we have an array, let me also explain this point. If we have an array, one dimension, what is the name of the array?
X.
Tell me, ampersand x is the address of the whole array or address of the first element?
First element.
First element.
No, ampersand x is the address of the
Sir,
whole
whole
array.
array. Whole
array.
array.
Very good, very good. Thank you. No. Next, what is x? Address of the
First
First
element.
first element. Now, the star A is asking for address of a group of element or one element.
One element.
One element.
So can I write down ampersand x here to pass the parameter, or I should write down x only?
Sir, X.
X.
Oh, very good. You understand what type of actual parameter we should pass? समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? Ampersand x
Yes.
नहीं लिख के मैंने x लिखा. Understood it or not? अच्छा, थर्ड पैरामीटर मैंने 10 लिख दिया, उसका मतलब क्या रहा?
So 10
10 is
elements
10.
का
10
addition
एलिमेंट.
होगा.
अच्छा, 10 एलिमेंट ऐड करेंगे तो इंडेक्स 0 से 10 तक चलेगा, और इट विल गो फ्रॉम 0 to 9.
0 to 9.
9.
And the value which is returned is stored in which variable?
G.
G में स्टोर होगा. इसके बाद क्या लिखेंगे? If not G, ये समझ में आ रहा है? जिसको समझ में
Yes,
नहीं आ रहा,
sir.
they can write like this. If G double equal 0, ये भी लिखने से चलेगा. कौन सा अच्छा लग रहा है? G double equal 0, not G.
Not G.
Not G का मतलब क्या है? If G is 0, suppose G is 0, not G का मतलब क्या रहा? True or false?
True हो जाएगा सर.
G
One
is
value
0,
return.
not G is true or false?
True.
So
One
when
return
it is 0,
करेगा.
it will print both the arrays are equal or not.
Yes, sir.
समझ में? Terms
हाँ,
are equal. Very good. It's your choice. What you write. Then if G equal to 1, printf this. Okay? Else, printf Y is greater than X. Is it understood?
yes sir.
I have one more question. Sanindya,
हाँ,
should
sir.
can I only add from starting position of the array or I can add from any position of the array?
Sir, we can add from any position. Address
Very
देना
good. Very
पड़ेगा.
good. If so, let me come to the next questions. Now I have two array X and Y, but I would like to add it starting from which position? X plus 5. Don't tell fifth position. Fifth बोलने से गलत हो जाता है. Actually sixth position है. Counting
Yes,
starts
sir.
from 0. So let me say we'll start from X plus fifth positions. X plus 0, X plus 1, X plus 5. X plus 5 is address of this element. Yes or no? Address of the first element is X.
Yes sir.
Address of the sixth element is X plus 5. All are agreed to me?
Yes sir.
If a pointer is pointing, let me say a pointer P is pointing to this position. How can I access this element? Can anyone tell me? P plus.
P plus 2.
Plus 2.
Oh, very good. P plus 2 or P plus 2 star?
P plus 2 star.
Is it understood or not?
Yes
So
sir.
can I write on this as P bracket 2 also?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, yes sir.
Yes, sir.
You can.
Very good. If you have understood this, let's write down this very easy. Look at this. Again, I enter the number. I wrote X plus 5, Y plus 5. How many elements I added here? Only
4 elements.
so X plus 5, 6, 7, and 8. Understood it? So can you do addition from any positions?
Yes sir.
Maybe the first array from 5th position, second array from 10th position, yes or no?
Yes
In that
sir.
case, I'll write down X plus 5 and Y plus 10. Understood it? Very good. अब फिर आगे का तो कर लोगे, ये तो कोई यहाँ तक हो गया. Can you write out these two function or not?
Yes.
क्या हाँ नहीं है? हाँ वेरी
हाँ,
गुड.
sir.
बोलने से फिर आगे बढ़ेंगे. आओ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. देखो क्या लिखा है क्वेश्चन का. मैं भी पढ़ता हूँ, भूल गया बहुत दिन से. क्या लिखा है? हाँ, accessing a two-dimensional array, very important. Now we would like to access a two-dimensional array where number of rows are fixed, but size of each row is variable. It's not an array, seems to be an array. I am asking one question here. Let me ask a question. Suppose I want to store the name of the 100 students. How many students?
100.
I can declare an array. Let me say the array is name. Oh. The name of the array is, let us say, name. How many names? 100. And each name may be of 80 characters. Each name may be of
80 characters.
80 characters. But how many of you are there whose names consist of more than 50 characters? Sir, कोई भी नहीं है हमसे.
Yes sir.
Agree? But again, whenever you go to South, if some South Indian students are there in the class, their name may be of 80 characters or not. Don't take it otherwise you are from South. Otherwise, all our names may be of 20 or 30 characters. Agreed or not? Suppose I define the array like this, but most of the students have their name consisting of only 10-20 characters. So some of the space will be wasted or not? In every row will be wasting some space or not?
Yes sir.
Even if one student has 90 character name, one student has 90 character
character.
name, this 80 should be rectified to 90 or not?
Yes sir.
Yes.
For one student only, whereas rest of the 99 students have only 10 to 20 characters. So if I'm going for a
The
two-dimensional
name has
array,
only 20
lot of
characters.
spaces would be wasted. Understood it, Sanindya Rosni?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
What we could do, let us define just like a two-dimensional array where number of rows are fixed and size of each row is variable. And that could be done with the help of a pointer variables. That could be done with the help of a pointer variables. Look at this. Star and bracket. Out of these two, bracket has higher precedence than star. Sanidya, ये लिख लिया करो किताब में, कॉपी में. Bracket has higher precedence than. Very good. Why do I say this? This bracket has higher precedence than star. We have a logic behind this. If I say bracket has higher precedence than star, people will read it as P of 5 first. Yes or no? Will you read star P then bracket 5, or first you will read it as P of 5?
P of
P
5.
of 5.
P of 5.
So this is basically, I'll tell how to make it star of P also. So this is P of 5. So this is an array of how many elements?
5.
5. Where each element is a character or address to character.
Address to
Address to
character.
Yes, online students, very good. We have written char star followed by P of 5. So we have arrays of how many elements?
5.
And whereas each element is a character or address to a character.
Address.
Address to a character.
Understood? So I will read it as char star, not char
Yes.
star, char star. I'll read it as char
Char
star,
star.
Star. Then
then
P.
P of 5. P of 5. Char star means address to character, P of 5, 5 element. Is it understood? So
Yes.
this is
Sir.
basically arrays of 5 pointers, arrays of each pointer is pointing to address of a single character. Is it understood? Tell me yes or no. आया समझ में? अरे
Sir.
Yes, sir.
इसमें क्या रॉकेट साइंस है नहीं समझ ठीक है. If you have understood this, look at the picture here. Look at this. If I have arrays of 5 elements, P of 5, its elements are P0, P1, P4. Or yes or no?
Yes.
P of 0, P of
Yes,
1 up
sir.
to P of 4. Very good. P of 0 is a character or address to a character?
Address.
Address to a character.
समझ में आ रहा है कि भारतीय नौ में जो लिखा है उसी को पढ़ लेता हूँ. सारे क्या?
सर समझ
नहीं
में
सर,
आया.
समझ आ रहा
हाँ
है,
वही
समझ आ रहा है.
चीज ना सर, आप तो लिखे पढ़ देते हैं, ऐसा बात नहीं. So P of 0 is addressed to a character. P of 1 is also addressed to a character. P of 4 is also addressed to a character. Up to this is understood?
Yes,
Are
sir.
yes or no? Very good. Look at this. ये हमारा लास्ट ईयर का स्लाइड है. लास्ट ईयर यू मस्ट बी नोइंग महाभारत चल रहा था जब कोरोना हुआ था. अरे याद है कि नहीं? इसलिए ये सब नाम मैंने लिया. अदरवाइज आई कुड हैव टेकन द नेम ऑफ द आईपीएल प्लेयर्स. एटलीस्ट 10 कैप्टन का नाम मेरे को लेने का था. स्लाइड कौन बनाएगा बोल के मैं बनाया नहीं. अदरवाइज इट वुड हैव बीन अ बेटर एग्जांपल इफ आई वुड हैव टेकन द कैप्टन्स ऑफ आईपीएल प्लेयर्स टीम. वो अच्छा रहता. लेकिन ये पुराना लास्ट ईयर का है. महाभारत चल रहा था, मैं जब स्लाइड बनाया तो महाभारत का नाम लिख दिया. नाउ लुक एट दिस. दिस इज बेसिकली एन array of characters. Yudhishthir. And in a string, at the end of the string, double quote, I'll explain in the next class, a backslash 0 is inserted automatically. Backslash 0. Bhim, C, Arjun, Sahdab, Nakul or Nakul, Sahdab. I also do not remember the sequence, Sahdab, Nakul or Nakul, Sahdab. कौन आगे है? नकुल बात होगा ना? नकुल बड़ा था ना?
सबसे छोटा है.
सबसे छोटा. अच्छा उसको चेंज कर देगा, अगले क्लास में चेंज कर देगा. मैं नकुल साहब पता नहीं चलता. जो भी है.
सही है सीक्वेंस. नकुल सही है.
सही है
सही है
अच्छा,
सर.
सृष्टि उसमें फाइट नहीं करेंगे. उसमें फाइट नहीं करेंगे. ठीक है, सही है गलत है उसमें फाइट नहीं करेंगे. मार्क दोनों को मिलेगा. जो पहले लिखेगा उसको भी मिलेगा, जो बाद में लिखेगा उसको भी मिलेगा. उसमें फाइट नहीं करेंगे. वहां ऑनलाइन वाले बोलना शुरू कर देने. सही है. जो भी है. तो कॉपी निकालो, कॉपी में लिखो. ampersand A is address of the whole array or address of the first character Y?
5.
Very good. Ampersand is address of the whole array. A is address of the first character, that is capital Y. Yes or no?
Yes,
लिख लिया तुमने?
Sir.
Have you written it?
Yes.
Same thing will also be B. Ampersand B is address of the whole array.
Yes,
B is
sir.
address of the first character of B. Understood?
Yes, sir.
मैंने सही लिखा कि नहीं? P0 assigns to A. Is it correct? सही लिखा? अरे हाँ तो बोलो.
Yes, sir. Yes,
ऑनलाइन
sir.
से. हाँ ठीक है.
हाँ,
अच्छा P of 1 को क्या लिखूं? ampersand B और B?
B.
B.
हाँ अच्छा ठीक है. P of 2 को
C.
जैसे बोल रहा है ऐसे ही आया कि नहीं आया? बोलो.
हाँ
Yes,
सर.
Yes, sir.
जो भी हो गया. ओके. अरे हाँ या ना? Very
हाँ,
good. Can I access y? Can I access y using P0? What should I write down to access? Tell me. P0. Then I'll put a star. If P0 is pointing to the first character, putting a star, I'll get this character or not?
Yes, sir.
How can
Yes,
I
sir.
access S? P0 plus
Plus
1,
5
2, 3, 4, 5.
star.
And remember, this just like a two-dimensional array, I can also access by writing P0 and 5 like this. I can also do this. Okay? By putting a brackets over here. Anyway, in a string, write down one thing. If you want to display the whole string, we can make use of a special symbol %s and address of the character, not the character, address of the, and whichever character will give, it will go on printing from there the whole string till it comes across \0, till it comes across \0. Suppose here I have a \0. Will it print Yudhishthir or will it only print Judhi?
Judhi.
Judhi. It will start printing from the character till it comes across
\0.
\0.
The string will be displayed till it comes across \0. Very good. With this idea, let me display the whole string over here. All these names we would like to display on the screen: Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Sadam, Nakul, Sadam. %s. Here you have to supply the first character or address of the first character. %s. Address of the first character. Remember this. And P0 is address of the first character. Yes or no?
Yes.
First printf will display Yudhishthir. Second printf will display. समझ में आ गया? Now, how many printf I wrote? All those printf statements are same or dissimilar or similar? If similar, we can write a for loop by changing this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 by a variable I will vary from 0 to 4 or not?
Yes, sir.
सही बोला कि नहीं? I can no 0 to 4 5 है ना? यही तो है, ये थोड़ा काउंटिंग प्रैक्टिस कर लो. 0 से काउंट करने से 5 कहाँ खत्म होता है? ये वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर कंप्यूटर स्टूडेंट्स. मेरा भी गलती हो जाता कभी कभी, ऐसा नहीं तुम्हारा. अंडरस्टूड? यस और नो? सॉरी. हाँ, ये हो गया. नेक्स्ट, लुक एट दिस. Finding number of A present in names using arrays of pointers variables. How many A's are there? ठीक है? कितने कैरेक्टर A ये सब भीम नकुल में है? काउंट किए क्या कोई? पता है कुछ? अच्छा ठीक है, काउंट कर लेते हैं. Is it understood up to this?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, सानिध्य समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है?
हाँ सर, हाँ सर.
Yes.
हाँ, yes. I declare two variable I, J and a count 0. Look at this. P0 assigns to A. हो गया? Initially हो गया? How do I count? Look at this. Count A in row number 0. Count A in row number 1. Finally count A in row number 4. ये 5 स्टेटमेंट जो लिखा सिमिलर है और डिसिमिलर है? सिमिलर. सिमिलर स्टेटमेंट तो फॉर लूप में डाल ही देते हैं. I varies from 0 to 4. Count A in row I or not? Are yes or no? How do I count row in this? I can write for J varies from 0, J. I'll go on saying up to \0 J plus plus. If Pij equal to A, then count plus plus. Understood or not? तो आई के लिए चलो. अच्छा, एक चीज मैं पूछता हूं. Pij \0 is treated as false. Note down on your copy. \0, its ASCII value is 0. \0 character, its ASCII value is treated as false. Understood it? है कि नहीं? अच्छा, ये अच्छा रहेगा कि ये अच्छा रहेगा? Should I write down this not equal or I will write down Pij? I don't write a condition. Look at this. सानिध्य समझ में आ रहा है?
हाँ सर.
I don't write a condition, Sanidhya. I'm writing Pij. Will it work or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
When Pij is \0 will come out of this.
Yes, sir.
If it is other than \0 will go on counting this. आया समझ में? अच्छा, एक चीज बोलो तो, should I write down j plus plus here, or I can write down here j plus plus? Will it work or not? कहाँ लिखने से अच्छा रहेगा? j plus plus here, or I can write down p I j plus plus inside this?
Inside for loop.
Inside for loop, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, लिखो. यहाँ भी लिख सकते हैं. I can also write down here I, and in place of j I can write down j plus plus or not?
Yes.
नहीं, I plus plus नहीं काम नहीं करेगा. I पर ऊपर लूप है, ऊपर लूप चला जाएगा. j plus plus काम करेगा. आया समझ में?
सर
Yes, sir.
हाँ,
Yes,
बोलो
sir.
बोलो बोलो बोलो.
Yes, sir. आ गया.
जीरो के बारे में सर क्या बोले थे सर, एक बार फिर से रिपीट कर
कौन
देना
सा चीज, कौन सा?
सर. /0 सर, आप कुछ
हाँ,
लिखने के लिए-
backslash, write down your copy. ASCII value of /0 is 0. ASCII value of /0 is 0. Hence, it is treated as false. It is treated as false. Therefore, if I write down Pij, whenever it is /0, it is false will come out of this. Unless and until I get /0, it will continue to exist. Understood? ठीक है? Just 1 minute. आया समझ में? दूसरा क्वेश्चन. अच्छा, नेक्स्ट डे विल डिस्कस. अप टू दिस लेट्स एटा जी करिए. ओके, डू एटलीस्ट अप टू दिस. ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स,
Yes, sir.
प्रैक्टिस ऑल दिस व्हिच आई टोल्ड. हम थोड़ा धीरे जा रहे हैं क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग को डाउट होगा इस चीज में. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट व्हेन आई एम अटेंडिंग यू, प्लीज आस्क मी. इफ इट इज नॉट क्लियर, आई विल क्लैरिफाई. ओके, because it is very difficult to clarify all this from the books. এই 2-3টা प्रोग्राम लिखिए, तो आपको दे दो, ठीक है, है ना?